All right, Al, thank you very much. In addition to the 12 students and one teacher who were killed here, 23 students were wounded during the attack at Columbine High School. Among the most seriously hurt was a sophomore named Lance Kirklin. He is on the road to recovery, and last night Lance and his father Mike sat down with NBC's Dan Abrams.
16-year-old Lance Kirklin will forever wear the wounds of the attack at Columbine High.
Got shot here in the face, shotgun. Here, my knee, one on my foot, it's still there. There's the exit wounds, and then the one on my chest. Yeah.
He was shot 5 times as he walked out of the school cafeteria with 2 friends.
Started off with one gun and running backwards. Dan was the first one to get shot, and I went to grab him, and they shot me in my leg. When they kind of collapsed, and they shot me in my chest. And I was just looking at the sky, and my head went like that. That's when they shot me in my face, shotgun.
So you've been shot already 3 times?
That I know of.
And they shoot you again in the face?
Yeah.
Remember what you were thinking?
Is this how it ends? But then I thought, no, can't end here for me.
It didn't. Lance was rushed to the hospital, where even seasoned emergency room doctors were shocked at what they saw.
The type of injury that he had was remarkable, even to us.
Bullets lodged in various parts of his body. The left side of his face torn apart by shrapnel.
He was very fortunate from the standpoint that this didn't cause more severe damage to the face. Another centimeter lower, and Lance probably would have lost his life.
And through hours of surgery, Lance's father Mike feared the worst.
I was real scared. Very loud. Just real worried.
Lance doesn't remember much about his first 2 weeks in the hospital. He was too sedated. It wasn't until the 3rd week that he realized the magnitude of his injuries.
I couldn't walk. My legs were just too weak. And when I saw my face for the first time, it's all swollen, really big.
Are you angry?
No, I feel sorry for all the people involved, even the shooters. But they had that much anger to take it out on the school, take it out on innocent victims. I guess I am angry because they shot me in my face. I mean, it didn't kill me. That's what they're trying to do, I guess. I don't know. All it did was maybe eat through tubes, you know, for a little bit, and maybe not drink for a month. It's gonna leave a scar now. But that's okay.
Lance says the most difficult part hasn't been the feeding tubes or the scars. It was what happened to the friends who were shot with him. Sean Graves was seriously wounded. Dan Rohrbaugh was killed.
Dan died. I watched him die. He's my good friend. He's always there for me. It's just all around a great friend. He's always there for anybody.
When Lance heard about the shooting at a Georgia high school on Thursday, he says he thought about the victims and the shooter.
I'm scared. People would still do this. Scared that there are people, young people, in schools, in high schools, middle schools, that still want to do this. Kill.
But despite everything he's endured, Lance has remained upbeat. During his 25 days in the hospital, he even entertained celebrities like the rock group Aerosmith and singer Shania Twain.
Shania Twain came and gave her a flower and proposed to her. She smiled, gave me a hug.
But no wedding in the near future.
Well, she didn't say no.
And Lance says in addition to meeting some of his heroes, if nothing else, he'll also have a story to tell his grandchildren.
It's a beautiful day, and I was walking outside, and all of a sudden, this man with a gun came out of nowhere. I don't know, just make these great stories.
And each story will have the same lesson.
Whatever doesn't kill you can only make you stronger.
For today, Dan Abrams, NBC News, Littleton, Colorado.
What a brave young man. Lance's family has set up a fund to help pay for his medical bills, which are expected to exceed $1 million. If you'd like information about that, you can log on to our website at today.msnbc.com. It's 7:39 when we come.
Okay. How you feeling?
Feeling great.
You had a big day.
Yeah, today's been the best day in a long time. I'm able to drink now.
Before, you weren't able to drink?
Yeah. Because there's a hole all the way through my mouth, right here on the underside, and it would just pour out. So then it couldn't heal shut. So I couldn't have anything in my mouth. But now I can drink.
How did it feel to take that first drink?
Great.
Tell me what happened, what you remember of what happened. Let me start again. Tell me what happened.
Alright, well, started off with one gunman running backwards and shooting at the school. And we were at the bottom of the hill and he was at the top. And when he kind of turned around at us, me, Dan Rodabaugh, and Sean Graves. And Dan was the first one to get shot. And, well, at first we were trying to figure out if it was real or what was going on. We all thought it was paintball guns or something, never seen the prank. Then Dan was starting to fall, and that's when it all went into slow motion. I went to catch Dan, but then I got shot in the foot, and Dan started to fall, and I went to grab him, and they shot me in my leg. When they kind of collapsed, and they shot me in my chest, and that's what made me fall and turn. So, then I was on the ground, and I could see Dan, I looked down and see Dan, I could look up and see Sean. And I kind of just stared at the sky for a while. Well, maybe a minute. And I was just looking at the sky and my head went like that. That's when they shot me in my face with the shotgun.
So you're lying on the ground with your two friends next to you. You've been shot already 3 times.
That I know of.
And they shoot you again in the face.
Yeah, that's 4. I don't know when they shot me in my knee. But, well then, I could see a puddle of blood on my mouth, and every time I exhaled, blood would stray out. Looking around the ground, I could see pieces of my face. I looked down at Dan last time, and he was probably taking his last breath. And then I kind of just passed out for a while.
Before you passed out, you're seeing the blood, you're seeing your friends. Do you remember what you were thinking?
Is this how it ends? But then I thought, no, can't end here for me. And I just kind of prayed, and they laughed out.
You woke up in the hospital?
No, I woke up as a paramedic was running by me, Monty Fleming, and he checked Dan first, and there's no chance. And he came to me, and I guess I kind of remember this, but raising my arm and saying help, and then he grabbed me. I don't remember, but they're shooting from the library down at us from the 2nd floor, and then the leader of the Denver SWAT team returned fire so we could get away. And he was running with me, telling me that I was going to be alright. And he put me into the back of the ambulance, and I was laying like this on Sean's back. That's the last thing I remember for 2 weeks.
So the SWAT team firing at these guys saved your life?
Sergeant O'Hara, that officer that was returned fire back and suppressed them away from the window, so they did have time to get him in the ambulance and drive away.
So had it not been
First Sergeant O'Hara,
Or Monty Fleming.
Monty Fleming and Jerry LaRusso were the ones that pulled in with their paramedic vans and grabbed Sean and tried to get Dan, Sean, and Lance. And Dan had already been deceased, and so they got Lance and Sean at that point.
when you saw these two guys with guns, do you know who they were?
No, they were dark silhouettes. I couldn't see any face, nothing.
You just see two guys holding guns, and you're thinking,
I really just only saw one. But there's another figure standing next to the one. So that was probably the other one.
they say anything?
I don't know.
You hear, obviously, very shortly thereafter, what's happened.
I was working 3 blocks away from the school, and so I heard the sirens, and then pretty soon I saw the helicopters, and knew something was going wrong. Something was happening at the school, so I drove over to the school, and there was a policeman, and they had barricaded it right there at the light that was going up the hill to the school, and asked what had happened, and they said that there was 3 students down and 1 shooter. And at that time, I didn't have any idea that that was Lance, Sean, and Dan. So I went back to my house thinking that Lance would call me as soon as he got home or got out of school, and that he'd come straight to the house and sit there and watched it on television. My twin brother was driving the other way towards the school when we passed, so we stopped, and he said he would go down and find out there, and I told him I'd wait at the house. When I got there, Lance's real good friend Anthony had already got into our house and was writing a note telling me that he was okay. Lance was fine. He watched him get out. Well, he had watched Lance and Sean and Dan walk out the door and saw Sean go down, but never saw Lance again, and thought Lance had got away.
So a friend of Lance's writes a note in your house.
He's writing a note in my house when I'm there,
telling you Lance is okay.
Okay.
So at this point, you're thinking everything's fine.
Yeah, but then it was too long. It was 20 minutes, and I knew Lance would have paged me. So I just felt like something was happening, and 25 minutes went by, and Denver Health called and said that they had Lance, that he had been shot, that I needed to be down there. So
You go to the hospital.
Go to the hospital and wait. I have to wait. It was about 6.5 hours before I could find out exactly what, that he had been shot. They didn't know still exactly how many times. There was 2 life-threatening, the one in the leg and the one in his face, that they did get the blood stopped, and that they felt like it looked good. And then it was just a matter of waiting. And we was that night, and the next day, then we went in for surgery the 3rd day, and it took 6.5 hours on his right leg to go ahead and get the temporary bridge that they had to hold the bone, the arteries in its place, because he had lost 3.5 inches of artery in the right leg. So they had to go into his upper groin on his left leg and take a vein out there to replace the artery. And then the 3rd day later, they went ahead and put in the the rod, the 14-inch rod in his femur. And then the next day we had the 14.5 hour surgery on his face, on the reconstruction of his face.
At what point do you get to see Lance for the first time?
That night, about 8 o'clock, about 8 o'clock that night.
You walk into the room that night,
Mm-hmm.
and you see your son lying there.
Yeah, with a big neck brace on, and it looked a lot better than I thought it was going to. I was worried. I was just thankful he was alive. It was real scary, but he's a tough kid. I was real, I was just glad that God kept him here for a reason. It needed to give me some more scares in my life or something. Had a lot more fish to catch.
And let me go back to you. You said 2 weeks. You don't remember. Sorry. You don't remember what happened for 2 weeks after the shooting.
No, I was on too much anesthetic, too much drugs.
When you come to, what's the first thing you think?
I'm in the hospital. And there's a doctor there that I haven't seen since that night. It was must have been about 11 o'clock, or no, 4 in the morning, I think, is when I actually woke up, and my nightly nurse had a doctor in there. And he was looking at me and poking and prodding at me, making sure I was doing alright. It got really annoying after a while. But I'm just looking around and I realized I'm in a hospital room, and my legs hurt, and my face hurts, and my chest hurts, but I'm alive. And then I kind of remember the shooting, and I'm like, oh, it was real.
So, did you feel your face, feel your leg, feel your stomach? Okay. So you wouldn't hurt yourself, you wouldn't touch your face or anything?
Right. Okay. So you wouldn't be grabbing at anything.
I didn't try to. It was painful.
Did you have a sense of how bad things were?
No.
At what point did you get a sense of the damage that these guys had done?
Must have been about a week later when I tried to walk. I noticed how bad I was really hurt. But I couldn't walk. My legs were just too weak. And when I saw my face for the first time, it's all swollen, really big.
And what did you think?
I just think while I was alive, and I knew I was going to heal. I'm going to heal.
It's the kind of attitude your son has, huh?
Yeah, it sure is. He's definitely got the right attitude. He knows that he's coming back, and he'll be back, 100%, and he'll just be doing fantastic. He's a fighter. He told me that a week ago. He says, "Well, of course I'm a fighter." And when he looked at his cousins, he looked at them, and they, are you going to be okay? They wanted to know. And before he was talking, when he was writing things on a board, he'd just look at him and show him his arm. And, he just, I'd say, "Are you okay?" He'd put his thumb up and say he was strong.
And is that how you feel?
Yeah.
That's him. Him in a nutshell. He is strong and a fighter, that's for sure.
Are you angry?
No, the way I look at it is whatever, I forget who said this, but whatever doesn't kill you can only make you stronger. So, I mean, I feel sorry for all the people involved, even the shooters. But they had that much anger to take it out on the school, take it out on innocent victims. But,
Can you really, though, empathize with them? I mean, can you really say, I feel sorry for the shooters because they were so angry?
yeah. It saddens me to know that they're in that much pain or much anger.
Are you angry at them?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. I'm angry, but, I just can't believe that nobody was paying attention to what they were doing. Sure, you give your kids independence, you let them know, to give them their space and everything, but to have it go this far, to know that they've got a shotgun in their bedroom laying on the dresser, that, you go in your garage, you have to see what's been put in your garage, things like that. I feel like that you need to be more involved with your children and find out what's happening in their life, talk to them more.
Are you angry at Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris?
Yes. Yes, I am. Lance helped me a lot with it when he said we need to forgive them, and we know they're in hell probably. And,
So Lance has convinced you.
Well, Lance has
Not to be that angry.
Lance has helped me through that. I feel like that God's worked in a lot of ways through Lance. God's trying to get me to let go of that hate and to not judge. But it's up to God to take care of that at this point.
Why are you smiling? When he's saying that?
My uncle.
Oh.
Up there. I guess I am angry because he shot me in my face. I mean, it didn't kill me. That's what they're trying to do, I guess. I don't know. All it did was maybe eat through tubes, for a little bit and maybe not drink for a month. It's gonna leave a scar now. But that's okay. I just have to take every day by itself as if tomorrow never comes.
I think some people are going to watch this and say, that's incredible that you were shot by these guys. As you said, shot in the face once. And yet, you're willing to say you feel sorry for them, you'll move on with your life. You can really do that.
I think we feel real bad for the people that lost their family members too, all the other kids. This has been really hard to, for Dan.
It's hard for me to know that Dan died. I watched him die. He's my good friend.
Has that been the hardest part for you, knowing that your friend died?
Yeah. No, my other friend got hurt. Sean.
And for all the families that lost somebody, and the other kids that were injured, and then the rest of the school, and the rest of the world, really, this has affected a lot of people. And that's one thing that I want to make sure that all the other kids, a lot of kids this age feel like if they go see a psychiatrist or try to get help, they're crazy, something's wrong with them. It's almost the opposite. If they're feeling bad, if they're having a hard time with it, to go get help. I hope that they really feel like that's the right thing to do, so it doesn't go on and last forever in their life. That they could take it like Lance has and know that it's something that we need to talk about. And,
What's been the hardest part for you?
to watch him hurt, to go through the pain. Have the uncertainty, to wonder if he was going to make it, how he's going to feel, a year from now, how harder it's going to get. Want to get our lives back to normal, kind of. And is that going to happen? That's a scary thing. But just as strong as Lance is, and
it seems like Lance's pain has been much harder on you than it has been on Lance.
oh, it hurts.
Hurts at that point. It goes away.
And do you see your dad's pain when he looks at you?
Yeah.
He said to me a couple times, Dad, don't get too emotional. So I'm kind of an easy guy to do that with. And he's a pretty tough guy, so.
He's taking care of you?
Yeah, he's always tried to take care of somebody. He's always thinking of somebody else. And that's just the way he is. He always takes care of his little sister. And, he's just a good guy all the way around. He really is.
Well,
I couldn't be more proud.
And that's up, that's one of them.
What is the thing that you're looking forward to doing most? Well, let me ask you a different way. What are you looking forward to most in the healing process?
Riding a bike down the river and going fishing. Being able to do that by myself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
We're taking a break again.
Okay. All right.
I need a coffee.
All right.
We went.
Wow.
Water.
A little bit to watch and drink.
You ready?
Yeah.
Is everyone ready to go?
Okay. I'm gonna steal.
Yeah. Well, no, just
We could cheers to apple juice.
How's it feel to take a sip of apple juice again?
Great. That's really nice.
That's something that you were looking forward to for a while, huh?
Oh yeah. Most definitely. But
I feel like I am now sweating like crazy. Can you give me a paper towel or something? No, I'm sorry, Judy. I was not asking you to do.
While we're doing this, why don't we have Ben take another sip because
Oh, I got the shot. Okay.
ready?
yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like I'm shining.
From here anyway, doesn't it?
Don, are we okay?
And we do it again together.
You do it one more time, just a drink. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, Dan, I
look at the camera.
Oh. Just drink it like you. Is it hard to drink?
No, I take small drinks, so
Do you have problems opening up your mouth?
Doesn't open very wide, but it will. They're gonna, with the next operation, they're gonna open it and they're gonna spread his mouth open all the way. And they're gonna be putting more bone in between the metal plates that they put in.
not necessarily. They're just gonna take these off my races, and, well, kind of races, and open my jaw, and take out a tube out of my stomach.
What is it that you're looking forward to doing most in the healing process?
Being able to ride my bike down the river and go fishing.
How far do you think you are from being able to do that?
I feel right now about a month, but I'm sure it's like 2 months.
So in I mean, physically, what is it that's happened to you? I mean, I know you were shot, but tell me what injuries you suffered.
My legs are cramped up, and my knees, or my right knee, doesn't bend very far, so I can't do a full turn on a bike. And my left ankle is still stiff. But that's it. Where they took the skin and the bone for my face, it's my left calf, and that's still healing up, but it doesn't bother me.
So the part that bothers you most is your legs,
Yeah,
not being able to go bike riding,
yeah,
whatever else you do.
yeah.
What are the things that you used to like? What are the things that you do? Let me ask different. What are the things you like to do most?
Go fishing.
Jet ski.
Yeah. Yeah. Just motorcycles. Ride a motorcycle.
I guess at this point, riding a motorcycle doesn't seem so dangerous anymore, does it?
I don't know. I'm kind of paranoid about getting on a bike because I really want to live, and I don't want an accident to happen. If I get hurt like this again, I just go back to a hospital.
So this experience has led you to not want to ride motorcycles as much anymore in the future?
Well, no. I mean, I'll probably just start off slow. But I'll end up to be the speed demons that I was before. So,
Yeah. You'll still be saying, come on, Dad.
He tries to race me, but I beat him every time.
And you'll be beating him again, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'll wear me out with a jet ski for sure.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to get him up on water skis this year. I think he'll really enjoy that. It's just going to take time with the face. We've got to, that's the only hold up. His legs, the strength with those, we've been told, and just by what I've seen so far, he's doing fantastic. The other day when we're going to the hospital for physical therapy, he says, "Look, Dad," and he's got his crutches up in the air, and he takes 4 steps by himself.
That was when we were going to the ER.
Yeah. Going to the emergency room because of the tube and stomach's hurting so bad. And he's hurting that bad, he has to show off and do that. So.
Yes, you're showing off.
Yeah. Yeah.
First I hear you're showing your muscles to everybody.
Yeah.
Now you're showing off to Dad.
Yeah. Next day I walked from my room out to here.
Without the crutches.
Yeah.
And tells me when he gets there. I'm saying, keep the crutches on the ground. We don't need you falling. So it's pretty hard to hold him back. He's doing great. I couldn't be more proud of him. He gets tired of me touching him a lot, but that's okay. And he can put the boxing gloves on, and he'll eventually start coming back with that.
Pretty soon you're going to tell him to stop touching you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've crowded him a little too much already, he told me.
How do you think that this is going to change your life long term?
A lot of great stories from the kids.
What would you tell them? What are you going to tell your parents?
It's a beautiful day. I was walking outside, and all of a sudden, this man with the gun came out of nowhere. I don't know, just makes these great stories. And it's most definitely a learning process. So, life is beautiful. Don't take it for granted, because you can lose it any second.
Did you take it for granted before, you think?
Oh yeah. It's amazing how many things you do take for granted. I mean, being able to drink. It's amazing. Being able to swallow. Being able to walk.
Having a chance to pray. So,
everything.
Just to have. Somebody had said to me, and I thought it just still keeps sticking in my head, that sometimes God needs to knock you flat on your back to get you to look up. And it's definitely changed my faith in a lot of ways. I've always believed in God, but I know that with the world and with everybody, the prayers have been answered for Lance. But that's one of the reasons he's doing so well. It's because of that. Without that, I don't believe that he'd be here. But then Lance has done all the hard work too, from what God's given him, and then he's had to turn around and fight hard.
What do you want to do when you're grown up, so to speak?
Yeah. Game warden. I don't know. My family's always been big into hunting and fishing. So, I don't know. Kind of a nature boy, so I like to be outside and active.
I think some people would ask the question, you say you want to be a game warden involved using guns.
Yeah.
Has this changed your opinion about guns at all?
Not hunting. As long as you're used to hunting, then that's fine. But Tech 9s, and all the machine guns, they need to stay in the Army and stay with the police. Shouldn't be at gun shows or in gun stores.
Does this make you even more convinced of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Just
do?
stand out as much as we can, do everything we can to get that stopped. It's ridiculous to go to a gun show and be able to, for any civilian to be able to buy a Tech 9, a gun that's not used for hunting. I mean, That's just,
Killing humans.
it's a gun just to kill people with, and that's just ridiculous. And we both feel, or I feel definitely we don't want it. And been asked Lance. Lance has been asked a lot about that. He feels the same way. I mean, you have a rifle to go hunt elk and deer and, things like that. That's one thing, but to have a AK-47, if you're gonna go and try to hunt something with that, that's no sport. There's,
Told him now I know how it feels.
But everyone's ready?
Cool.
When you're 50 years from now, you got grandkids, you're sitting around, and I should probably just ask as a follow-up, right, to that other question?
What are you going to tell your
Yeah, okay. This is the question we didn't get. Okay. What are you going to tell your grandkids? Actually, sorry, let me just... what are you going to tell your grandkids?
I'll make up some great stories. One day I was walking outside, beautiful day. All of a sudden, the gun came out of nowhere. Stuff like that.
Tell it as a good story.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever be able to look back on this not as a extremely painful memory?
As a learning experience, I guess.
You were saying that you're a hunter, and you were saying that this has given you a new perspective on hunting.
Now I know what a pheasant feels like when they get shot by a shotgun. So, I don't know.
Does it make you? But it doesn't make you not want to hunt anymore.
No, I love hunting.
maybe gives us, I could say probably, he had enough respect before for hunting. He was a very respectful hunter and everything, but just gives you more respect for the game wardens that are out there, the people that let you hunt on their land. That you don't just take advantage of the time. All of a sudden you'll see a pheasant and you want to just jump out and shoot. You want to make sure that it's safety first. Lance he passed hunter safety the first year that you can. That's 11 years old. And he's been hunting ever since. And he comes home and cleans all the guns. Doesn't just clean his. He cleans mine. He cleans his uncle's. He cleans everybody's. He's pretty good at it. And I think this is just going to give me more respect. But
sorry. You guys all right? I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the.
Fighting over the armrest. What's new?
Can you give him a good fight yet?
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
He thinks that he's stronger than what he really is.
When I was we were still in intensive care, and Lance went down to get some X-rays one day, and I was standing with my back towards where he was coming back from, and I'm standing there talking, and all of a sudden I get hit right in the middle of the back, and I turn around, and the person pushing the wheelchair had got close enough to me so Lance could reach up and hit me. And so that's when I turned around and said, he's back, and I knew he was going to be doing fine then. I mean, he's just taking strides every day. It's amazing how much better he's got, how fast he's got. And he's strong. He's really, his arms have got a lot stronger. And
Strongly full.
Ready to take that.
Yeah. I keep telling you, he's big enough. He's been big enough for quite a while.
Elderly.
Yeah. He's been big enough, but the experience, he's still got to gain that.
Are you gonna go back to school?
Yeah. I'm going to ask Columbine in the fall.
What do you think about walking back into that school?
We'll see. lots of memories, but there's a lot more good memories than bad. And bad memories that only lasted probably 2 minutes, the whole thing. So I remember being with my friends down in the Commons, hanging out.
But isn't it going to be hard to go back to the spot where you remember all this happening?
No, I don't think so.
That's great. This is not the order of the question, but I want to make sure I ask you this. This has been a huge burden financially, has it not?
Mm-hmm. I had no health insurance, so.
But let me just ask, first of all, do you want to talk about this? Are you okay with talking about this? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Right. This has been a huge burden on you financially, has it not?
Yes, it has. I didn't have health insurance. I don't have health insurance at the time, and I'm not sure exactly how this bill is going to be paid. There's been a lot of funds, a lot of people wanting to help, and I just pray that that continues and that they go to the funds that are out there to help Lance, because it's going to be an ongoing thing.
So you haven't.
We're going to have to be taking care of this for the next years. We've got a lot of surgeries to still work on the reconstruction, not to mention the rehabilitation and the plastic surgery. So I will be getting health insurance as soon as I can return to work, but I'm learning how to be a nurse now, and I'm going to be with Lance as long as he needs me. And that's what I'm going to do. So I am worried about the money. I've got a lot of other bills I've still got to get paid off. So
how much has this cost so far?
Right now, I've heard it's over $1 million just for the hospital bill. Yeah.
How are you going to pay that?
I don't know how I'm not worrying about that right now. I'm worried about make sure I'm feeding him right, and, doing the feeding tube right, and doing it on time, and getting him back and forth to appointments, and just doing everything I can to take care of Lance. And the grace of God, God's taking care of everything so far. I feel like He's going to take care of that end of it too. And if I have to work the rest of my life, that's fine, as long as He'll take me fishing once a year. So that's fine with me. We'll get that part of it taken care of. I feel like it is a burden, but I haven't spent enough time thinking about it. I'm just more worried about Lance.
No.
Just a follow-up. Gun control question. I'm just curious about how each of you felt about assault weapons before this happened. If your opinion on those specifically has changed or stronger.
Let me ask it. Has either of your opinion changed about assault weapons since this happened?
Well, I didn't really have an opinion before, so I guess it has. Because I'm totally against it now.
My opinion before was I didn't feel like that they were necessary at all. I mean, I owned a handgun myself, and I had it for a reason. That I had to kill an elk with my knife one year. So then I wanted a pistol to be able to finish it if that ever happened again. But a handgun, for protection, I'm really not totally against handguns now. Like Tech 9's a handgun. I'm totally against something like that. That's ridiculous. And I feel a lot stronger. And I feel like that they should be off the market completely to any civilian.
When you first heard that Lance was one of the people who was shot, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Oh, I'm just scared that he was, frightened that he wouldn't live. And to get down there to him, to be there with him. Because I was, like I said, right by the school. I knew I had to go all the way across town to the hospital.
Before you saw Lance, what had you heard?
I had heard that he was shot 4 times, and it was real bad. I was real scared. Very loud. just real worried.
And you were actually relieved when you saw him?
Yes. And when the doctors came out and said that they felt like it went well, and he was they felt real positive that he would make it. That there was, he wasn't out of the woods, and that, the next couple of days were going to be very important. And, and then when he got infection, he had to go back in after the third surgery. Then he had the side of his face got infected, and that was a real scary time too. We had to go back in and open his face completely up and flush that out. And that was real scary again. But the life-threatening part wasn't there as bad.
When you look at Lance every day, do you get angry every day?
No, I thank God, and Lance keeps me more, he's always been able to make me smile, and, we're getting grouchier more and more every day because we're getting better every day. But we're, we still, this has brought us a lot closer, and so I'm just thankful to see Lance every day.
How do you stay so upbeat?
I'm not a sad person. I've always been hyper. Well, not so much hyper. Well, yeah, hyper. And just always kind of class clown. Yeah.
He's a great artist, and he's a great fisherman, and he's a comedian. So I always said you'll see him on stage making fun of fish, or he'll be up on stage making jokes and drawing a fish. He is a very funny guy, and he's real positive. I think he's gonna touch a lot of people's lives and be an inspiring person.
I know my family's behind me, always. Uncle Mitch, Uncle Mark, Aunt Ellen, and Grandma, Nanny. The Browns are part of my family, and Dad, of course.
What's been the most important part of being able to keep you so upbeat? It's been family support? Has it been just knowing that you're going to be okay?
Combination of both, I think.
I mean, I think some people would be in your position and they would feel sorry for themselves. They would say, why me?
We won't get better if you do that. You just gotta look at the fact that, yeah, it sucks that it's happened to me, but, oh well. I can't do nothing to change it. I can only make it better. So you gotta try your hardest, push yourself to heal.
And how do you push yourself to heal?
Take those few extra steps. Try and bend my knee a little farther. Just everything.
Don, did you have other?
I want to ask Lance about comments or directions.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just, you heard about this other shooting?
Oh, yeah, just recently. I don't know any of the details.
But just, when you heard that there was another school shooting, what'd you think?
Got scared. People would still do this. I don't know. Scared that there are people, young people, in schools, in high schools, middle schools, that still want to do this. Kill. Just, it scares me. I hope that everybody will be alright, all the victims that were hurt.
What would you, if you could say something to one of those kids who are in the hospital now, what would you say?
sucks now, but things will get better. Maybe short and sweet, I guess.
Fine.
Yeah.
One other, just have Lance doing a large single shot of Lance. Can you just sort of point and tell us exactly what happened, where your injuries are, so people have an understanding?
Do you mind?
You know,
No.
gunshot in here.
Well, here, I shot in the face with a shotgun. In my knee. I don't know if you can see that or not. But that's where it went in. There's the wallet still behind my knee. Didn't leave it in there until it bothered me. In my foot, the wallet's still in there. Here's the exit wound. The one that shattered my femur. Now I have a rod in my leg. A steel rod. That's it.
Chest.
Oh, and in my chest. Like that. It's gotten a lot better. Went down and went through my lung, and they had to take a chest tube and inflate my lung again. So,
When you think about all of the injuries that you suffered, do you think to yourself ever, how did I get through this?
no, because I know God is with me.
Just for editing purposes, can we just...
Yes. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we'll wait till it's, yeah.
Yeah, you're finding out what you're gonna do, it'll stop. You're a perfect guardian.
Now, so you try doing that one more time?
What?
Just so we have it, something else to edit to, just the same, tell us where you got shot, where
We're only going to use it once. It's just
We're only using one system.
Okay.
look at me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I shot in the face here, shotgun.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Right, shot here in the face, shotgun. Here, in my knee. The wallet's still behind my knee. It'll sit until it causes any damage, and then they'll take it out. Got one on my foot, it's still there. Same deal as my knee. There's the exit wound. The one that went to my leg and shattered my femur. So now I have a metal rod, steel rod. And then the one on my chest. Yeah. That one went to my lung, or into my lung, and they had to take a chest tube to my side and pull out the wallet and inflate my lungs in.
One last thing, you guys may have talked about this while I was checking the other morning.
Yeah,
You're fixing.
Of your mic.
Oh,
it was right up to that last thing.
yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Sorry to the help. My hand.
I think you guys have talked about Dan already.
Okay. Dan, his friend Dan? Yeah.
You did talk about them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Briefly, do you want us to?
I didn't hear, so if you feel like we have, I mean, I just want to remember Dan as part of the groups.
Okay.
Before we go there.
Well, I think it's probably an important point for you. Just based on the way you were talking about it, I think it's something that you want to make sure we get. So, you'd said that the hardest part of remembering what happened was remembering what happened to your friend Dan Roba. What is it about Dan that you're remembering?
So he's there for me. He's just all around a great friend. Always there for anybody.
And even though you're not angry at the shooters for what they did to you, you're angry at them for what they did to Dan.
Yes. and Sean and everybody else.
Nobody deserved, but those two kids did. And I don't want anybody to be forgotten. I mean, the people.
Nobody will be.
Something that we're going to have to live with the rest of our lives. And they were all just as important to everybody, Every one of those kids are very important. They need to be remembered. This needs to be something that isn't forgotten.
This is a lifetime issue, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. If it can just go away, just like a lot of things do, then I think we're going to be seeing more and more shootings. It's going to also trigger things, just like this morning's shooting again. They might have made those kids think that they're going to be popular, but I mean, if it can be focused on what a tragedy is, if it's just one shot, if it's just one person involved, it's still senseless, and we need to really focus on what can we do to get this stopped.
I mean, this is what's happened to Lance.
It's going to be a lifetime struggle. Yeah, we're going to deal with this the rest of our life. I mean, this is going to be something that he's going to have to. When he says he's strong and he just keeps fighting. Well, when it gets real cold, when we're goose hunting or whatever, it's cold down by the river, that steel rod's going to be a lot colder than his normal legless. And we've got a lot of things adversity, things that we're going to be fighting that is going to take a lot more extra effort. We've got a lot of psychological things just in the plastic surgery in his face. A lot of money issues, a lot of things like that are still going to be something that's a big scary thing that we've got to go up against. But like with Lance's attitude and as strong as he is, I can't lose. It sucks, but we got to do it. And that's the way he's seeing it. And I mean, we'll just keep plugging away with him. He's at the steering wheel now, in which he will be. It's
I just want to tell, students everywhere, don't outcast anybody, because I think that's what builds up that hatred that makes these kids snap. A friend is always better than an enemy. So,
just as something I just thought of, you had some interesting experiences while you were in the hospital. People visiting.
Yeah.
Tell me that.
Well, first it was first it was the Broncos and the Avs, but I don't remember that because it was in the first 2 weeks. But then Aerosmith came. They were really cool guys. They dedicated their concert to me.
Does that mean a lot to you?
Yeah. So,
Shania.
I know. Then Shania Twain came. I gave her a flower and proposed to her. She smiled, gave me a big hug. So.
But no wedding in the near future?
Well, she didn't say no. But, then I went to her concert, went backstage and sat up front with Sean and Patrick Ireland, Richard Casaldo, I think. Carl Mecklenburg came. We're gonna go fishing.
Have you, in a way, bonded with some of the other survivors of the shooting?
No, because I didn't talk to them.
Yeah.
You guys have pictures of this March Wayne meeting?
Uh-huh.
Can you shoot that too?
Yeah. Do you want to get those, Mitch?
Yeah.
Those were those
Yeah.
new ones that we had.
And do you have other shots of?
We need that. They gave us one. If you have any more shots of him, that would help us.
Oh, it was Aerosmith?
No, of just a glance.
Oh, so just general pictures?
Yeah, I just couldn't find any of them that right now.
Okay, understood.
They knew, just that one I had. And
Is there anything else, I mean, that we didn't talk about that you guys, that anything interesting or anything you want to say or anything?
just like to thank everybody, the hospital, the Marriott, the Air Touch, everybody that's, helped us with, to get through this time. Air Touch donated us telephones so that we could be talking to each other, and the Marriott set up a room for me right by the hospital, and the hospital has just been fantastic. Everybody, the community, everything, it's just been great.
I want to thank all my doctors, Dr. Moore and Dr. Patel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody, Kurt, Dr. Garen, I guess. But we go like first
Dr.
names.
Garen, yeah. It got too hard for me.
Yeah. But, and then I want to thank all the people that sent me mail. Got a lot of mail. A lot of mail. And just say hi to all my friends. Columbine High School and Wilton High School. And all over the world.
You're an inspirational kid, I'll tell you. I'll tell you, seriously.
He is good. He is very good.
Yeah.
It gives me inspiration every day. Makes it easier to get up.
Don? Oh,
I just need a little use.
okay.
Yeah, Dan, well,
There's no other questions, right? Okay. I need to now do a little monologue here. Okay. You guys need to listen because they may take a shot of the back of my head just sort of talking. This is one of these TV things along the lines of the makeup and the other little things that I have to endure. Judy gives me endless grief about throughout all the things we've done with Judy and Randy.
You did not laugh.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's my fault. I'm sorry. It's interesting because when I watched you in your press conference, I think that sitting down and talking to you, you get a much better sense of what you're really like, as opposed to, just someone who sort of was at a hospital and this and that. And I think more the story that I want to tell is kind of like, this is who you are, and this is, we've gotten a much better sense talking than just here's what happened to me. I mean, well, that'll be part of it, but I think your personality's come out a lot in this, which is good.
Can you uncross your legs and lean back the way you were?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes?
I'm going to say goodbye to the transcript.
Yeah.
Are we definitely done? Nothing else?
I want to get some shots of him walking, if that's okay.
I need to call the desk and tell them I'm not going to make Brian win.
Just count to 20.
Okay.
If you
One.
look at Lance just for a
Just look
second.
at sorry. Just look at me. Just look at me, right?
No, look at, Mike should look at that.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at who?
Doesn't matter.
You're irrelevant. No, you can't smile. You can't smile. So, I'll just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mike, look at Dan for a second.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay?
Look at if you look at your dad just for a second. Okay, after you both just look at Dan for a second.
Okay.
And I'm just going to do a shot of both of you, just real serious, and I'm just going to do just a hand from one to the other.
Okay. This is just for, we'll be talking about, for example, if we have a shot of you talking about Lance. You know, and show a shot of Lance sort of listening. Just it's again one of these sort of teething things we do. Okay.